Facebook, how you doing? I am live, and I am Brad Browning, and we are going to do a live breakup Q&A session right here, right now. And I'm just going to give you guys a couple of minutes to jump on the video here, and then I'm going to start answering your questions. To be honest, I have absolutely no idea how Facebook Live really works. Never done this before, so hopefully you guys are going to be able to see the chat. You guys are going to be able to ask your questions in the chat, and I am going to have my very important man here, Mike, who's my video guy. He's going to load up your questions on this iPad so that I have a new one to answer all the time. And I'm also going to watch your questions and comments in the feed here on my laptop. So I've got a lot of things to look at. So yeah, do answer those breakup questions. Do ask those breakup questions in the chat, and I will answer them. While I'm waiting for you guys to join and to ask your questions, though, guys, I am going to tell you about something I did the other day. Actually, it was a couple of weeks ago. I sent an email to my mailing list. Every man on my mailing list got this email. So if you were on there, maybe you saw this. But I sent out a survey with 10 questions for dudes about various breakup, dating, relationship-related things, questions that I asked. And 368 men responded. So I want to just tell you two of the answers, two of the questions here, and some of the answers that you guys gave, because I think it's kind of interesting. So the first question that I wanted to share with you is the question that was, of the following behaviors that a girlfriend might exhibit, which do you consider the most problematic or most likely to lead to you breaking up with her? And the options were A, jealousy, B, controlling behavior, C, arguing/fighting frequently, D, nagging, and E, lack of excitement or lack of fun in general. Now, I had my guess about this one, what you guys would say is the most likely to lead to you wanting to break up with a girl, and I was wrong. So the answer that got the most responses, 128 of you said arguing/fighting frequently was the most likely. What I guessed, controlling behavior, was second most common answer with 29%, or 109 of you said that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So basically, ladies, if you want to keep your man around, don't be controlling or don't argue or fight frequently. The second question, there were 10, so I'm not going to share all 10. I just have this 2. And the second question I just thought was kind of interesting as well. And the question was, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is a woman's appearance when you're considering dating her or being in a relationship with her? Now, you probably can guess what you think, and maybe you think guys are shallow, ladies. They're not as shallow as you might think, though. The average answer was 6 out of 10 on that question. So out of all the things that guys say are important, it's number 6. Or sorry, 6 out of 10 is what people rated it on average as being how important it is a girl's appearance. So let's start with some questions here. Hopefully you guys have asked a few. Do I have any yet? Not quite yet. But I will answer a few questions from my YouTube channel here, the comments, while I'm waiting for some to come up. Hopefully, maybe Mike can even put some questions from YouTube onto my little iPad here, so I have something to answer while you guys are asking your questions. So, we've got one here. Carissa, thank you for the question, Carissa. Thank you for being the first. Carissa says, Brad, are you an expert on rebound relationships? I mean, I'd like to think so. My ex is in a rebound relationship since October, and since then, I guess, hasn't been happy with the rebound, but likes how the rebound person spoils my ex. Does materialistic things matter ultimately in my ex staying with that rebound? And Chris has written quite a bit more, which I'm not going to read here. But to answer your question, I mean, it sounds like you're putting a lot of faith in what he's saying is the truth about what he's feeling towards that rebound relationship. And I'm not sure that you can necessarily put a lot of faith in that. So I would say that, I mean, yeah, if he's not happy with the rebound, then it's likely that you've still got a good chance of getting him back. Assuming that's what you're asking me here. Sorry, I don't really want to read this whole thing live because I got some other questions now. So if you guys can keep them as short as possible, that would be super awesome. Just so I can read them out and answer them and not take, half an hour, half this video. Okay, so hi Rodriguez. How you doing, man? Thanks for coming on, and thank you for the questions. I got another one here. Should I go out with my ex even though she's got another man? Really, Brady, that's up to you, man. I can't really answer that one for you. I don't know. Should you? If you're trying to get her back, then I mean, yeah, probably. Although I'm not really sure why you'd want to be in a relationship with a girl who's also got another side boyfriend. So that's up to you, man. You're gonna have to answer that one for yourself. So, thank you, Rodriguez. Rodriguez says you've saved my life twice. You demand. right, guys, keep the questions coming. I've got one here from my video guy, Mike, who's very shy. He doesn't want to be on camera, but he's pulled it off YouTube here. So Dan F. from YouTube asks, how long should no contact be? Should I wait 30 days even though I've done a ton of begging and pleading after the breakup? Well, if you've done a lot of begging and pleading after the breakup, then yes, absolutely. No contact is critical. And yes, you should probably, in almost every situation like this, you should probably live out the full 30 days of no contact. You really need to at least give your ex, at least a few weeks at the very least, to cool down, to let some of those negative emotions and feelings sort of dissipate. And then after that, after the 30 days is up, then you can start reaching out and establishing, attraction again, basically. But Dan, no contact should be at least 30 days for 90% of situations. And if your situation is unique, different, then please sign up for my one-on-one coaching, breakupbrad.com/coaching. And we can talk more about that. But for most of you out there, 30 days is right around the sweet spot in terms of how long you should do no contact for. Thank you, Dan, on YouTube. And I see we're getting a couple more here from the Facebook chat feed. So keep them coming, and Mike will put them on here and I will answer them. I have one more here from YouTube, though. Which is from Cheryl, who's asking, what do you think makes a man stay interested in a relationship? What's the best way to prevent breakups? I think one of the biggest things, Cheryl, is you really need to have your own life. So you can't let whoever you're dating, the man that you're with, become your whole world, because then, you seem insecure, you seem needy, you seem like you're not interesting, and he's going to lose attraction. So I think that's one really important thing. Confidence is also another. Men like confidence, maybe not quite as much as guys do in a woman, but it's definitely still an important trait that you can convey. And again, having, your own life and passions and hobbies and career, those are all things that are going to project confidence as well. So those are a couple things. I think also clinginess and neediness are a particularly common problem that you can really do a lot of damage to your relationship by exhibiting those traits. So I would say that is another one that you can definitely put in place in your relationship to help prevent breakups. So thank you, Cheryl, for the question. All right, thank you, Mike, for these Facebook ones. These are good. So I think I'll answer some of the first ones you guys have put in your chat here. Keep them coming. First one's from Nikki. And Nikki says, he's been spending time with someone, he says just sex, but seems to be opening up to me. Is there still a chance? Thanks for the question, Nikki. To be honest with it, a little bit more detail. It's hard to say, it's hard to answer that, with any detail. But really, I would say that if he's opening up to you, if you've done the 30 days of no contact already, then you can sort of use him opening up to you and his messages to you as sort of the springboard for starting communication again, getting him interested. I wouldn't mention the person that he's been spending time with at all. I wouldn't worry about that. I wouldn't try to dissuade him from seeing her. Just flirt, build attraction, and make yourself look like the better option. Is there still a chance? I think, please take my quiz, breakupbrad.com/quiz. Answer those questions honestly, and you'll get a score and a pretty good idea of where you stand and whether you still have a chance. Based on the limited information you just gave me, I think probably you do have a chance. Most people do. But yeah, take that quiz, and you'll see for yourself how you do and what my personalized recommendations are based on your quiz answers. Thanks for the question, Nikki. What else we got here? We got another one. Let's see here. Let's go with one from Brian. Brian asks, hey Brad, after doing 45 days of no contact, good for you, man, way to stick it out. My ex and I hooked up once after, and now she's kind of friend zoned me. She texts a lot on her own, but keeps saying we're friends. Is there any way out of the friend zone? She broke up with me, by the way. Yeah, so the friend zone is that sucks. I'm sorry to hear. It's not a great place to be, the friend zone. You really want to make it clear that you are not going to stick around and be her plan B. So essentially, I think, again, we work with me one-on-one, sign up for my coaching if you want to talk in more depth. But I think really the key is to make sure that she knows that you're not going to stick around. You're not going to be willing to be in that friend zone and just wait for her to decide whether she wants to, move on or find someone new or stay with you and have the best of both worlds. So you can't let that happen. You really need to make it clear that you want to either be in a romantic relationship with her, or you want to, not be friends and not have her in your life. A lot of the times saying that outright is not necessarily the best strategy, but you can give that impression by, sort of not being so available, pulling back a bit, and making sure that you put a little bit of pressure on her through your actions, basically to just make sure that you show her clearly that you're not going to be her plan B. So I hope that helps a little bit. And again, breakupbrad.com/coaching if you want to sign up and we can talk in more depth. All right, what else we got here? Let's see. We've got one from, let's go with one here from Alexa, a nice short one. Alexa, hey, so I took your quiz earlier and my score was 61. Is that bad enough? Should I just give up now? Or that I should just give up now? Well, thanks for the question, Alexa. If you guys want to take that quiz, I'm sure most of you have already, but if not, it's at breakupbrad.com/quiz. 61, not a great score, Alexa. I'm not going to say you got no chance. That's definitely not the case most of the time, but it's probably looking slimmer than you might like at this point. I would say 60 and below is probably bad enough that it's time to start thinking about moving on. 60 to 65, which obviously you're in that range now. Depending on your answers, I would say there could still be a chance, but you probably want to keep your options open, be ready to move on if things don't work out. 61 is not a perfect score. Again, thanks for taking the quiz, and thank you for the question. Good luck. All right, what else we got here? Let's go with one from Jerry. Jerry, thanks for the question, man. He's asking, Brad, my ex tells my friends that she misses me, but is in a rebound. They've been together for about 5 months, but my ex keeps talking about me to my ex, saying she misses me and keeps asking what I'm up to. And also she says she's arguing a lot with the rebound, but likes the attention. What's your best advice? She's in a rebound. She misses you. So she's saying that she misses you. I assume so. That must be how you're getting that information. Generally, I would say for all you guys out there, don't read too much into what your ex is saying, given their reasons for breaking up, or even just how they're feeling about things. They're not always going to be honest, or a lot of the time they're not going to be honest at all. But anyway, so she misses you. She's in a rebound. That's 5 months they've been together. That's probably at the point now, man, where it's probably not really a rebound anymore. It sounds like, there's some reason for hope because she keeps talking about you and says she misses you, but that's probably not a rebound after 5 months. It's probably a real relationship. So my advice to you, man, probably think about moving on unless you're getting, very clear signals, unless she's reaching out to you constantly. And it's clear that this guy is not something that's important to her in her life. Otherwise, I would say, yeah, it's probably time to think about moving on after 5 months because that's not much of a rebound anymore. It's probably a real relationship. So sorry to be the bearer of bad news there, Jerry, but hopefully that helps, man. Okay, let's see. We've got a short question here. Okay, here's one from Andrew. Andrew says, Brad, how do I get my ex to meet up? Or what text should I say to her? She invited me to see her at her son's birthday. That's a great question. Thank you, Andrew, for asking. How do you get your ex to meet up? So for everyone out there watching, how do you get your ex to meet up? The best way to do it is to have a real reason. So you really want to give your ex a reason to meet up that's beyond just, hey, let's catch up. So if you can say, I use these examples a lot in my videos and in my program, but if you can say like, hey, I need your advice on something. Can you spare 20 minutes to grab a coffee so you can tell me, what color to paint my living room or where to go on holidays or things like that are real. So you don't seem like you're just doing it to meet up with her. Or you have sort of, underlying intentions that are, potentially threatening to your ex. So that's my general advice on how to get them to meet up with you. Always have a good reason. And if you don't have a good reason, probably don't try. Wait till you can think of one. What text should I say to her? I mean, if she's inviting you to her son's birthday, if you've gone through the no contact already and, you think it might be tough to get her to agree to a coffee date or something like that, then yeah, you can use that, her son's birthday party, and go to it as sort of the basis of reestablishing some contact, seeing her again, flirting, telling her about how awesome your life is now, things like that. As far as what to text specifically beyond that, hopefully I've given you some ideas there. Otherwise, please sign up for my program, breakupbrad.com, and you'll get a lot more ideas and text message examples that you can send to, hopefully get her to meet up with you. But good luck, man. Thank you for the question. All right. What else we got here? Okay, let's stick with texting here for a second, actually, because I got one from Sarah that says, should I text my ex to get him back? I tried to phone him like 10 times since we broke up on New Year's, which is 2 and a bit months ago. What should I text him to make him reply? Okay, so like we're staying on texting here. As I said, texting is one of the best ways generally to communicate with your ex. It's non-invasive, it's non-threatening, so you're not your ex can take time to think about what they want to reply to. You're not going to bug them, call them in the middle of an important meeting, something like that. But also, it gives you a chance to plan and think really hard about what you're saying and make sure you say the right thing in your text, rather than if you get on a phone call or you meet your ex in person, they might say something that you're not prepared to answer and you don't know how to handle that kind of situation. So texting is always a great way to communicate with your ex, especially if that was a method of communication you used a lot when you were together. As far as what you should actually say, if he's not, if you've tried to call him 10 times, you definitely need to give him some space for now. If one of those calls, like if you've called him in the past 2 weeks, then at least for another 2 weeks, shut down all communication, give him some time, give him some space, and then after that, really anything positive, funny, share an inside joke, keep it really simple, upbeat, that kind of thing when you do text him. I'm not going to go into specific examples. There's tons of them in my X Factor program, so you can go to breakupbrad.com, watch my video, get some more ideas, or watch some of my YouTube videos as well. But yeah, texting is great, and make sure you always keep it positive, keep it fun, lighthearted, tell a joke, share an inside joke, that kind of thing. So yeah, hopefully that helps. And texting, A+, texting your ex. All right, thanks for all these questions, guys. Now I see we got lots going on here, so let's go with one here for Sabrina is asking a question. So Sabrina says, I've made every mistake I could since my breakup. Don't worry, Sabrina, you're not alone on that one. Trust me, it's very common. My score was 68. If I start the no contact, I assume you mean your quiz score was 68, which is pretty average, so you probably still got a decent chance there. If I start the no contact, do I tell him I'm doing this or do I just ignore him? I've tried many times to start the no contact, but I end up replying to him. So no, you definitely don't want to state publicly or just actually tell him that you're going to engage in no contact. That's totally not necessary. You can just stop reaching out and just sort of go quiet without saying anything. And if you've tried several times to start the no contact but you end up replying, well, that's tough. It's just basically a willpower thing. You really do need to stick to it unless it's critically important, the question that's being asked. But yeah, I would say definitely don't mention that, and definitely just try to keep your willpower. Make sure you stick to it for at least a few weeks. If you don't have the willpower to do the full 30 days, at least a couple of weeks will certainly be better than nothing. And I actually made a YouTube video on this topic of how to stop yourself from replying to your ex. So if you want to check that out, it's on my channel as well. All right, so thank you for that question. That was a good one. Where else do we go with here? Okay, let's stick with no contact. We're on the topic. Robert asks, how do I handle the no contact rule when I have to see my wife during the kids drop-offs and baseball games? Thank you, Robert. That's a great question, man. And it's a tough one. A lot of my clients struggle with this one because obviously situations like where you have kids together, you can't just ignore your ex. I would say the best thing you can do is to try to make sure that those interactions where you have to see your ex are really positive and you use them to your advantage if you can. So, flirt, show your ex that you're still a fun, awesome, dude to be around, to be with. Remind her of why she, wanted to be with you in the first place during those encounters, and absolutely no drama. So don't let her, drag you into anything when you're meeting in person, when you see her, and try to stick to, upbeat, fun, positive topics in general. Don't let it get into arguments, and certainly don't bring up any drama. And otherwise, just try to make it clear through what you're saying and what you're doing when you're around her that you're moving on, that your life is awesome and you're doing well, and at least give off that impression, even if it's not true. So it's a tough one. Good luck, man. I hope that helps you a little bit. All right. What else we got here? Andrew, thank you. I'll be getting your DVD or books you got. So how do I order your what to do manuals? Well, thanks for your interest, Andrew. My program, The X Factor, is a comprehensive guide to getting your ex back. And if you, Andrew, want to sign up for a copy, right now you can do that and get access right away in 5 minutes or less at breakupbrad.com/buy. All the information about the program is there. It's $47 one time. So yeah, head over to breakupbrad.com/buy and you can pick up your copy and get started in 5 minutes or so. Sweet. Thanks for the question. Thanks for the opportunity to plant that shameless plug there. Let's move on. Let's go with one from, hey, Rodriguez. Since you said hello earlier and you're one of the first, I'll answer this question you've got here, which was, what are your best tricks on building attraction? That's a really good question. It's a topic that's really interesting because I think a lot of people, it's not sort of something that comes naturally. Flirting, building attraction, being charming around the opposite sex. It can be tough for a lot of people. So you're not alone if that's a struggle for you. As far as the basics go about building attraction, things like having your own life, just basically being a successful, interesting person with lots of hobbies, lots of passions, and your own life, having your own life really together. That can be one that can, really be a very attractive thing without having you to learn how to, flirt or do things that are specific to, hanging around the opposite sex. So just being a successful person with passions, with hobbies, that kind of thing can be really attractive. What else? Flirting is really a skill that you need it not just when you're trying to meet a partner, but also just maintaining a relationship. Flirting is going to be important for, pretty much any relationship, no matter what stage you're in to some degree. So I think flirting, read about it, learn about it. You can go to lovelearnings.com. We've got some articles on how to flirt, how to be more effective on that. And I actually made a video not too long ago as well about building attraction. But yeah, the only other thing that I can think of that I want to mention here is neediness, clinginess. Don't be clingy, don't be needy. Don't be unattractive. It's basically a good way to be attractive, if that makes sense. So hopefully that answers a little bit. Check out my YouTube videos on this topic or lovelearnings.com for more on how to build attraction, how to flirt. Thanks for the question, man. Appreciate it, Rodriguez. Let's go with another one here. What else we got? Kamal. It's been 6 months since I broke up with my girlfriend, but I still miss her and want her back. What are my chances to get her back? Is there still hope? Well, Kamal, I want to congratulate you on asking the single most commonly asked question. I get this one about 10 times a day from my clients, from people. But it is a fair question. And my answer is usually just go to my quiz. It's free. It takes 5-7 minutes. breakupbrad.com/quiz. That's probably the best way to get an assessment of where you're at, what your chances are without, going into detail here and telling me the entire story of your situation, your breakup. So breakupbrad.com/quiz and take that. You'll find your score. You get an assessment of where you stand and some personalized recommendations on how to proceed to win back your ex. Good luck, man. Thank you. Okay. So, hey, these are good questions, guys. Thank you. Keep them coming. Let's see what else we got here. How about this one here from Jürgen Quintanilla? Sorry if I'm butchering that, man. But Jürgen asks, what can I do if my ex and I aren't seeing each other anymore, but we ended off on bad terms? That's a tough one, Jürgen. If you're not seeing each other anymore, that can be a good thing because really it makes no contact a lot easier if it just sort of happens naturally. A lot of my answer would depend on how long it's been since the breakup, how much contact you've had. If it ended on bad terms and you've had no contact at all for like a month or more, then you could probably just reach out and get a sense of whether she's going to reply, where her head's at. I'm assuming it's a her. I apologize if not. But yeah, if you ended up on bad terms, really giving space and time for your ex to let go and to cool down a little bit is really important. And then once you reestablish communication, making sure that you don't show those qualities again right away. So you want to be positive, you want to be fun. You definitely don't want to remind her of whatever it was that caused the bad terms breakup. So yeah, I hope that helps. If you want to talk more, breakupbrad.com/coaching, we can do one-on-one coaching and I can learn more about your situation and give you a better answer. All right. What else do we have here, guys? Brady Human asks, oh, thanks, man. Brady asks, is there a way to donate money to you? I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for all your support. The best way to support me is just to go and sign up for my X Factor program or for my one-on-one coaching. I appreciate it. I think the X Factor will definitely help you guys, and it's quite affordable. So that would be the best way to support me, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And also, please like my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. I do appreciate all the support, guys. And please, actually, now I'm on that topic, please do like my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/bbrowning. You're on it right now because you're watching me. If you like that, I'll answer your question probably. And certainly you'll get updated on my newest videos and things like that. So thank you for your support. Please like my page. Okay, let's go to the next question here. Thomas, divorced 5 years and she's been married 2. Told me a couple months ago she still loves me. Any chances? Thomas, man, I think that's probably a road you don't want to go down. Without knowing more, I can't say that, for sure. But it sounds to me, if she's been married for 2 more years, maybe she says she still loves you, but is she willing to give up on her current marriage for that? And is that a road you really want to go down? Is that you want to be a sort of a home wrecker? Probably not. So I would say, I mean, unless you're really confident that it's going to work out, that things are going to be different, and that she's unhappy and willing to give up on this new marriage that she's been in for 2 years, maybe. Otherwise, I would say, man, that's just probably not a. It's probably a bad news situation you'd be walking into there. Thanks for the question. Ben F. Ben asks, this is from YouTube apparently, so thanks, Mike. You've taken up YouTube as well as your questions live here. Do you offer coaching? I think my situation is pretty unique. Oh, well, I think I already answered your question, Ben. breakupbrad.com/coaching. Let's see, what do we got here? One from Henry. Henry asks, Brad, my ex is in a rebound and her character has changed extremely bad to the point where her family are constantly reaching out to me about their concern. How do I handle this? That's an interesting situation. That's odd. Man, I think I would need to have more details, Henry, to give you a proper answer to this one. I mean, if her family's reaching out, it says to me that she's maybe doing this intentionally because it's so obvious that everyone is noticing. So, like, is there some underlying reason or message that she's trying to send with this? Is she trying to just sort of let loose, go wild now that she's single? I'm not sure. As far as how do you handle her family reaching out, I mean, unless you have something you can tell them, I would just probably say, sorry, I don't really know what's going on, and I wish all the best for her, something like that. Getting into it and putting yourself in the middle of that kind of thing is probably not a good idea. So yeah, I mean, I would just stay out of it unless there's some details to this that you haven't given me here that would change things. Otherwise, yeah, I would just stay out of it, let her family deal with it, and yeah, hopefully that helps, man. Sorry, it's not very greatest answer, but hopefully that helps a little bit. Let's see. Oh, that's very nice, Shanna. This is not so much a question as a comment, but I appreciate it very much, and I'm flattered, so I'm going to read it. Shanna says, I have subscribed and been following you for the last 2 or 3 months. I assume she means on YouTube. And I found you on my own wondering about breakup questions. You've been the best figure in my life. Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for all your tactics that have worked. Well, thank you. I'm happy that they worked for you. That's fantastic. And thank you for the feedback, testimonial. All right, let's see here. Another one. Storm, Facebook question from Storm. That's a really cool name, Storm. So I've been doing no contact for about 40 days now, and I've been staying busy and bettering myself, but she doesn't follow me on social media, so how do I show her my new life? That's a good question. Congratulations on making it through 40 days of no contact. That's awesome. And I'm also glad to hear you're staying busy, you're bettering yourself. That's fantastic. There are other ways to exhibit that new life beyond social media. Social media is the easiest. Mutual friends, if you guys share mutual friends, that's one really good way to, sort of pass along subtly a detail about something that you're doing now, something awesome that's happening in your life since the breakup, and hope that can be passed on from your mutual friend to your ex. That does work quite a bit, actually. Some of my clients have had a lot of success with that. After no contact, once you start to reestablish, 40 days is a long time. I assume you're doing that on purpose. Once you do reestablish contact, of course, you want to drop subtle hints. So, you can even just mention like, hey, since I started this new job, I've been doing X. And that will, basically give your ex the impression that you've got this new job, something new and exciting is going on. So just drop subtle hints once you do start talking again. You don't want to be too overt about it. Don't just say, hey, my life's awesome now. Just be a little more subtle, drop hints, that kind of thing. And also, don't be afraid to use mystery. Create a little bit of mystery. So say something that sort of hints at something you're doing or something that's going on in your life that's awesome, but don't give any more details. Those kinds of things, once you do reestablish contact, are great. I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you don't get your chance to show your ex the new you before while you're still in no contact, that's probably okay. You can do it once you start to reach out and communicate again more regularly. Thank you for the question, Storm. Hopefully that answers it. It was a good one. And in that time, Mike has pulled 2 more awesome questions here. So let's go on to one from Kira. Short one from Kira. And she says, I've been in 4 relationships. I can't stay more than 1 month with a guy. I'm feeling like I'm a bad partner. What should I do? Well, Kira, first of all, don't beat yourself up. It's possible that this isn't you, that you're just having a string of bad luck there. Depending on whether this is you that's ending these relationships, so in other words, you're deciding you don't like these guys and giving up quickly, then maybe you're just being a little too picky, a little too quick to end things, and you need to give guys a little bit more of a chance. Or if you're getting dumped, then, maybe you want to look back and just sort of in retrospect, look at what happened and what the commonalities were, what guys were saying. Don't read too much into that, but, just sort of do a little bit of self-analysis and try and figure out whether there's something that you're doing and a trait you're exhibiting that's causing men to go running. I also recommend actually you go to one of my colleagues at Love Learning, is Amy North. She's got a great channel, a dating channel for women. So search Amy North on YouTube, watch some of her videos. She gives a lot of advice on topics like this. I believe you can just go to coachnorth.com and watch one of her best free videos. Don't quote me on that, or just Google Amy North and check out her stuff. She talks a lot about this kind of thing, and her stuff's only for women. And I'm sure she'd have some great suggestions for you. Yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. The only other thing I would say, Kira, is that clinginess, neediness, showing that kind of insecurity that you really jump headfirst into relationships and show too much interest too soon, that could definitely be one of the things that's going on there. It's quite common, so it could be that. But yeah, check out Amy North's channel, her videos, and you'll get some more advice on that kind of thing. All right, let's see here. One from Tia. Tia, I did get your questions. Thank you for asking. Sorry, this is a coaching client of mine, but since you're already a client, I'm going to answer those by email later tonight. Thank you for the question and for being part of my coaching. We'll talk to you soon in my next email reply. Let's go to one here from Sean. Sean says, I've done a ton of begging and pleading after my breakup, which was almost 3 months ago now. I fear that I've ruined my chances of getting back together with my ex. What should I do? Sean, man, begging and pleading, very common, very bad for your chances, but very common. So don't stress about that. 3 months ago, that's probably not, too long. You still got hope. There's lots of things you can be doing. Of course, starting with no contact. No contact is going to be really important in your situation. Even though it's been 3 months, you need to kill the negative, toxic behaviors, the begging, the pleading, and engage in no contact. You really just want to give her some time, some space. And if things are really bad, if you've done a lot of mistakes, made a lot of mistakes, done a lot of begging and pleading, then you might need to send my clean slate template, my message template, before you engage in no contact. It's basically designed to reset her feelings, to get you back to emotional neutral before you go into no contact. I don't want to go too much into the clean slate template here. I've done videos on it, and it's also covered in detail in my program, the X Factor Guide. So go to breakupbrad.com and you can learn more and get a copy of the clean slate template for yourself and use it. But yeah, you may or may not need to use that. Check out my video or sign up for my one-on-one coaching if you want to learn more and talk to me about that in depth. But yeah, clean slate template maybe, and then no contact. Thanks for the question, Sean. What else we got here? I'll do a few more. Let's go with one from Diala. I've been in a serious relationship for 3 years, Diala says, and broke up 6 months ago. I'm not over him yet. I'm still stuck where I want to move on, where I want to move on, and I want him back. So I guess you want both. You're not sure what you want. But anyways, I've deactivated all my social media accounts so we can't figure out what I'm up to in my life. Does this step help him forgetting me, or should I activate them again and let him watch me? Well, normally I would recommend, using your social media accounts as a way to send him, subtle messages, that kind of thing. I don't think it matters that much either way. I wouldn't, now that you've already killed your social media accounts, I wouldn't reactivate them unless you want to. I mean, does this step help him forgetting me? Maybe, yeah, probably. But I mean, it sounds like you don't really even know what you want yet. So forgetting you is probably a good thing if you decide you want to move on and you're not interested in getting him back. If you do want him back, then you don't want him to forget you, and maybe seeing your name and seeing some positive posts on social media from you would spark his interest and sort of help you reestablish contact, rebuild attraction, that kind of thing. Generally, though, I think you got to figure out what you want. You can certainly continue trying to get him back while also moving on, and vice versa. But decide what you want, and then you can decide how to handle your social media channels. Generally, though, don't overthink it. It's not going to make or break you either way. So, again, another one of those questions I've sort of answered. I'm not sure that was helpful, but hopefully it does help a little bit. Thank you for the question. Let's see, what else we got here? Here's one from, Mike's got me one from YouTube here. My ex still texts me all the time. I think he said he still wants to be friends, but I'm not sure this is a good idea. What's your opinion on this? Should I be friends with my ex? No is my answer to that one. Do you don't want to be friends with your ex if you want your ex back in a romantic relationship? It's pretty much always a bad idea. So stay out of the friend zone. If he's texting you all the time, then that's a good sign. But definitely don't let it keep happening and let yourself become friend zoned and become plan B for him. So yeah, I mean, I've got videos on this topic as well. So check out my channel if you want to learn more. But definitely do not be friends with your ex, folks. Let's see here. Bradley Bonnick, thank you for signing up for my coaching, man. I appreciate that, and I will talk to you soon. I look forward to reading your first email. And if you guys want to sign up for coaching as well, breakupbrad.com/coaching. I think I still have slots available depending on whether Bradley or not took the last one or not. But yeah, breakupbrad.coaching if you want to work with me one-on-one. Okay, let's see. What else we got here? I'll probably do a few more, guys. I'm going to probably go another 10 minutes or so. So please keep your questions short so I can get through as many as possible here in the last 10 minutes or so. Let's see. Let's move on to one from Chandra. My wife moved out a few weeks ago and was very distant. We have 2 kids. Well, over the weekend, we were intimate on every level, and she cuddled with me a lot. She said she misses me, but isn't emotionally invested. Then we were intimate. Could this be a sign that she is thinking of coming back? She's also more open to having conversations with me. Wow, that's a tough situation, Chandra. I'm sorry to hear that you're in that kind of situation. It's tough. It sounds to me like it's probably, it might be a good sign, but it's also probably a sign that she's not necessarily decided herself as to what she wants. A lot of people will go sort of hot and cold and send mixed signals, and a lot of the time that's because they're confused themselves. She might not know what her preference is, whether she wants to get back together. She might miss you sometimes and really want you back in those dark moments when she's alone at night, and then other times think logically and say, oh, well, I made the right decision, separating, moving on. So I think that either way, the best thing you can do if you want her back is to basically do everything I say in my X Factor program or my Mend the Marriage program, which, thank you, you've already signed up for. And basically just make sure that you're using the opportunities when you are with her to build attraction, to show the best side of you, things like that. And make sure that if she's going to want to come back, that you give her, lots of reasons to feel that way and to decide on her own that you are the better option and get back together. So yeah, stick to what I talk about in the Mend the Marriage program and use those opportunities to build attraction if you can. It's a tough situation, so I'm sorry I can't be more helpful, but best of luck. All right, some long ones here. Let me see if I can find another short one. All right, here's Mustafa. Hey, Brad. I broke up with my girlfriend about 2 months ago, but she sees me on campus. She says, hey, and we talk a little bit, and she told me she misses me, but she can't say, LOL, I'm confused. I think, Mustafa, what your question is basically, from your question, I'm guessing that she broke up with you, but she's still seeing you on campus regularly, and you talk a little bit from time to time, and she says she misses you. Well, I mean, if you're on this video right now and you're asking that question, you probably want her back, I assume. If so, then, I mean, definitely time to start watching some of my YouTube videos, signing up for my X Factor program. Watch my full video presentation on breakupbrad.com, and just, basically make sure that you're independent, you're living your own life, you're thriving, and you're, moving on, or at least making it look like you're moving on. You're doing awesome things, and anytime you're going to interact with her, make sure it's really positive. Make sure you're using those interactions to build attraction, to be positive, and show yourself off in a good light. Share any new, awesome things that are happening in your life since the breakup, and certainly, don't make it look like you're waiting around from her. Make it seem like you're anxious that when you're talking to her, or that you're looking for something or really want to get back together. Just show the awesome new you, your independence, and your awesome new life, and be positive. Hopefully I interpreted your question right. If not, then I'm sorry, but thank you for it anyway. All right. Eduardo. Hey, Brad, I was in an online relationship with someone for 4 years. She broke up with me two times. We had been together for like 1 year for real, so I assume that means in person. Now I'm with someone else, and my ex texted and called me. What should I do? I care with my new girl, but I still love my ex. Oh man, I'm not sure I can answer that for you, Eduardo. Really, it's up to you to decide what you really want in your life. If you've already broken up twice and you're with somebody else again and you're happy, to me that seems like a dangerous road to go down. It could end up in tears, and you could end up with nothing, losing both of them. So I mean, unless you're really unhappy with your current partner, I would say just stick with it and let your ex go. So I'm sorry if that's a little bit ambiguous, but that's generally how I feel about that kind of situation. Let's see here. Thank you, Joshua, for signing up for my email coaching. I appreciate that, man, and I'm glad I'm being helpful so far. Let's see here. Nat, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, says, my ex-boyfriend broke up with me 3 months ago, and now he asked me why I didn't try to get him back. I just said, okay. What did he mean? I appreciate your advice. So that's interesting. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't read too much into it. He's probably he felt like maybe he expected you to chase him, to try and get him back, and you didn't. So he was probably feeling a little, unhappy about that, to be honest. It's sort of maybe an ego thing, a pride thing. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm assuming that you want to get him back. If so, it sounds like you've used no contact effectively. He doesn't know you want him back, and you could possibly use this as an opportunity to, ask him to meet up, to say, hey, let's catch up, by the way. I know we haven't talked, so, let's go for coffee. Something like that where you can then build attraction, assuming you want to get him back. Yeah, I wouldn't overthink it, though, otherwise. How about Joshua? Joshua, my ex actually just sent me a Snapchat. She's messaging or calling me nearly every day, and we're hanging out 2 or 3 times a week. Any general tips? Well, Joshua, have you already employed no contact? Are you responding to these messages? I guess basically, the simplest answer would be to go to breakupbrad.com, watch the video, sign up for my program, do everything I say in there. That would be my general tip. If she's calling you every day and you're hanging out a lot and you haven't done no contact yet, then you definitely need to back away. Make sure that she sees that you're thriving, you're willing to move on, you're not waiting around for her, and don't let yourself get friend-zoned. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say about that. So thanks for the question, man. Okay, let's do maybe 3 more questions, guys. Thank you for all these awesome questions. I'm sorry if I don't get a chance to answer yours. I will do my best. If you want to comment on one of my YouTube videos, I usually respond to those, or send me an email, sign up for my coaching, breakupbrad.com/coaching. But yeah, 3 more, starting with one from Terry. Terry says, it's been a year since I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. Still miss her all the time. It sucks. At what point do you think it's totally hopeless and I should move on? Sorry to hear, Terry, man. I totally understand. A year's a long time. If you still miss her, it sounds like, things were serious. You're really like this girl. But, I mean, a year is, a long time. If she's already moved on, she's dating somebody new, then it's probable that you want to think about moving on at the very least. You can also take my quiz, breakupbrad.com/quiz, if you want to take that and get a score and get a general sense of where you're at. I don't necessarily think that just because it's a year, it means you've got no chance, but it certainly is time to start thinking about moving on. Definitely get yourself out there on some dates, start seeing other girls, and that'll help you figure out, if you haven't done that already, help you figure out whether you're missing being in a relationship, having someone there, or you specifically miss this one girl, your ex. So yeah, hope that helps, man. Take the quiz, breakupbrad.com/quiz. All right, 2 more. First one, let's do this long one here from Diane. Diane asks, me and my ex separated nearly 4 years ago. We're still married. Over the last 18 months, we were really close and intimate on a regular basis. I stopped that as I want us to reconcile and make our marriage work. Okay. So now he either calls and texts, and then suddenly he will stop speaking to me for a couple of weeks. But his daughter has said to me that he has admitted he still loves me. Is there a chance for us? We've been married since 2001, and I wanted to get one of your programs, but I'm on disability and can't afford it. I understand. It's the decision to stop being intimate and close regularly, which it sounds like was happening until recently. I'm not sure that's necessarily the right strategy if you want to get him back. I mean, sometimes I do recommend a lot of the time for ladies to withhold sex, but I mean, really, if you're still married and he's interested in intimacy, he wants to be together, then I mean, short of giving him an ultimatum like, I'm not going to sleep with you again until we're back together and officially married and living in the same house, which I don't recommend either. I don't think stopping seeing him or being intimate is necessarily the right strategy, because it sounds to me like you've got 99% of a happy marriage, or at least a happy relationship there already. The fact that he stopped speaking to you for a couple weeks, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe sign up for I'm sorry, I guess you can't afford that either, but it's tough without getting more details to give you any more specific advice. I wouldn't read too much into what his daughter is saying, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, make sure that your encounters are positive and good luck. I'm sorry, Diane, I can't be more helpful than that without knowing more, but thank you for the question and good luck. Okay. Two more. We're going to do one bonus one, and then I'm really going to call this. And thank you again for all the questions, guys. Start with the first one, which is from Daisy Cakes. Daisy Cakes. If that's your real name, awesome. If not, I'm guessing Mike might have pulled one in from YouTube here. But me and my ex never texted, Daisy Cakes says. We only called each other. Now my no contact is up. Should I call my ex? Well, the phone is not ideal. So, I mean, if there's a way to contact him through social media, like if you have him on Facebook and you can send a Facebook message or Snapchat or something like that, that's probably better. It's easier. If not, then yeah, you can definitely call him. Be careful. You don't want to get caught in a situation where you don't know how to handle something. You say something, you shouldn't have and make a mistake unknowingly. I would suggest you think about signing up for my X Factor program. I offer a risk-free trial, of course, for 60 days. Because I have a lot of specific tips on how to call your ex section in the program. So I would say check that out if you are going to call him. If you can, though, do it through social media, that's even better. Thank you for that question. It's a good one. And finally, we will end with one here from Michelle. And Michelle says, my ex is missing spark and chemistry. Everything else is seemingly well, and we are best BFF also. We hang out a lot. I want more. Any suggestions? Yes, I have several suggestions for you, Michelle. Thank you for this good question. But really, you can't be friends and be in a romantic relationship. It's sort of it sounds like you're friend zoned right now, and that's a place you do not want to be if you want to be in a long-term romantic relationship together. Spark and chemistry is everything. It's huge. So you need to rebuild that, and you need to make sure you get yourself out of the friend zone. I mean, definitely, improve your own life, work on yourself, and, pull back a little bit. Don't give him everything he's asking for. Be a little bit mysterious, be unavailable at times, and get yourself out of that friend zone and flirt, build attraction, that kind of thing. And sign up for my X Factor program at breakupbrad.com. I think that'll help you as well. But it's a good question, and I wish you the best of luck. All right, guys, and I am going to leave it there. 47 minutes is a long time to just talk nonstop, believe it or not. So thank you all for coming on, and I really appreciate all your questions. They've been great. Hope I answered and helped a few of you guys. If I did not, I'll do another one of these soon, I hope. And of course, you can also email me, sign up for my one-on-one coaching at breakupbrad.com/coaching. And also you can go to my website and send me an email, comment to my YouTube videos. So yeah, I look forward to answering your questions on all those other platforms. And thank you again for joining me on this video today, guys. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.